Take a comfortable child's pose. You need to sit on a block. You need to put your head up on a block, whatever you might need. Just allow yourself to settle in there. Take a few deep breaths. Stand up the body. With the eye. Take a full deep inhale here. And side out. Another full inhale. And let it go. One more big full inhale. Fill up those lungs. Expand them to the sky. And then sigh it out. Allow yourself to drop into the space, onto your mat, and into your body. Start to scan in physically. Today's going to be a nice little flexibility flow. We'll flow our way from pose to pose. Holding the poses a little bit longer. Looking for that flexibility, that stretch, rather than that strength or mobility. Kind of notice what areas you might need to pay a little bit more attention to. Slowly start to pull yourself forward onto your hands and knees. You do a couple rounds of cat-cow here. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. One more time here. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale. Inhale comes to that neutral spine. And then tuck your toes. Make those knees a little bit wider. Sit back on those heels with your toes tucked. So a nice little stretch for those feet. And then come up onto the fingertips. Take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, walk your hands over to the left. Good. Staying up on those fingertips. Start to send the right hip back. And then start to let the chest walk forward as you reach the hands forward. That right shoulder specifically dropping forward. Getting a nice side stretch on that right side. Exhale, fully here. As you inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, walk those hands all the way over to the right. Stay up high onto those fingertips. Walk the hands a little bit further forward. Send your left hip back. And then bring your left shoulder forward. Let the head drop down. Take a nice couple deep breaths here. Exhale, pull. As you inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, come back to center. And as you inhale, roll yourself forward, uncurl those toes. And then a couple more rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, lengthen. This will kind of be our center place here today. Exhale, round. Coming back to this pose a few times. Just kind of notice how it changes as we start to move and find length in the body. One more round here. And then from here, you're going to sit back on your heels. If it's not comfortable to sit on your heels, you're going to sit back on a block, and the block can go at different levels, depending on how you're feeling today. If even sitting back like that isn't going to work today, you could sit cross-legged. So sitting up nice and tall. And then you're going to inhale, sweep those arms up. As you exhale, interlink the fingers. And then inhale, turn those palms up. Lengthen through the sideways. And then kind of notice if you're pushing your chest out and sticking your booty out. See if you can draw your low belly in. And then keep reaching through the arms. Okay, can you relax the neck a little? Keep lengthening up, reaching through those hands. Take 2 more breaths here. Maybe even draw those pinky edges back behind you a little bit more. Good. Take 1 more full inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, flip the grip. And exhale, bring the hands all the way back behind you. Hands are going to come on your low back, so fingers point down. Roll the shoulders back, and then press into the low back as you roll the shoulders back more. Elbows squeeze together, and then chin toward chest. Finding a nice stretch in the neck. Good. Keep pressing into the low back. As you inhale, roll your right ear to your right shoulder. As you exhale, go over to the left. Take an inhale. Exhale back to center. Take an inhale, sweep those arms up. And then as you exhale, take the arms wide. And then take that right arm over your left. See if those elbows can stay connected while you bend your arms. If they slip off, give yourself a big hug. If they stay connected, find the backs of your hands together. Good. And then inhale, lift through the elbows. Good. And then send those elbows forward. Good. Find a nice little stretch between the shoulder blades. And then we're going to add on a little neck stretch. So you're going to draw your hands to the right, your head to the left. And taking out all that tension, all that stress for maybe sitting and typing all day. Exhale, fully here. Inhale brings everything back to center. As you exhale, round the spine, draw those elbows toward your belly button. We continue to round. Imagine you're doing cat pose. Take another inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, lift the chest, reach those arms up. And then exhale, take them wide. This time, taking that left arm over your right. Bend the elbows, see if they stay hooked. If not, give yourself a big hug. If they stay hooked, bring the backs of your palms together. Lift up through those elbows. Send the elbows forward. And then try to relax them. Couple more breaths. And then drop those hands toward the left as your neck goes toward, or your head goes toward the right, stretching the left side of your neck. Take 1 more full inhale. Exhale. Inhale brings those elbows back to center. As you exhale, round the spine, bring those elbows toward your belly button. Good. Send those fingers forward. Take another inhale there. Stay to exhale. As you inhale, lift up through those arms, reach the top. And then as you exhale, hands down behind the back, interlink those fingers. If interlinking the fingers doesn't happen, hands come to that low back again. Press your knuckles into your low back. Roll the shoulders back and then squeeze the elbows. Good. Chin to chest or chin to sky, whatever's going to feel best in your neck. And if it feels okay for your chest, maybe those hands start to lengthen toward the ground behind you. Finding some openness in the front of the chest. Take another full inhale here. Exhale. As you inhale, release that grip, reach those arms up nice and high. And then exhale, roll yourself forward. Good. Give yourself a little cat-cow action there. Press into those hands as you inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Notice the space between the shoulder blades. Exhale, round. Good. 1 more time. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, round. Good. Inhale comes to flat back. As you exhale, walk those hands slightly forward of your shoulders. And then take that left knee, bring it to the center line of your body. Straighten the right leg, toes are on the ground to begin. Pull in through the low belly. Press into those hands. Nice long spine. So no cat, no cow. And then lift your back heel using your legs. Try not to use your belly to lift it. Use your legs. Good. Take an inhale there. And then as you exhale, round the spine, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen, nice long spine. Exhale, round, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round, hold there, pull it in so much that that right foot can go around your left knee, all the way to the left, and then draw knee to knee. There you go. And then sit back any little bit. Your front knee will probably come up off the mat, no problem. Finding a nice stretch in those hips. Cool. And breathe there for a few breaths. It's kind of a balancing stretch a little. Good. Take 2 more breaths here. Exhale fully there. Good. Shift the weight forward as you inhale. As you exhale, draw that knee to your nose, round, 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 round. Squeak that foot around the knee, and then extend it back out on your inhale. And exhale, bring that knee down. Good. Take the knees wide, find child's pose for a moment. Turn those palms up. Maybe even curl the fingers in on your inhale, make a fist. And then as you exhale, extend the arms out, the fingers out. Inhale, curl those fingers in. Exhale, extend them out. One more time like that. Inhale. And exhale. Turning those palms over. Inhale, brings yourself forward. Bring the hands under the shoulder to begin, and then sweep them one hand's length forward. So you have a little bit more space for the body. And then bring that right knee to the center line. Extend that left leg long, round into the mat. Pull in through the belly, and then inhale, lift that back. Good. Find length in the spine, take an inhale. And then as you exhale, draw knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Hold here. Draw it as much as you can. Take that left foot around the right knee. Draw knee to knee. And then start to sit back any little bit to find a stretch in those hips. You're just going for some sensation. It doesn't have to be a big sensation. We'll get into these areas more later. Just kind of a little check-in with everything right now. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale, shifts the weight forward. As you exhale, draw that knee to nose, round the spine, bring the leg all the way back. As you inhale, and then exhale, knee down, bring those knees wide, find that child's pose again. Turning those palms up. As you inhale, curl the hands into a fist. Exhale, expand them out. Inhale, drop them in. Exhale, lift them wide. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Good. As you inhale, turn over the palms. Exhale, back up to hands and knees. Do a little thread the needle. So you're going to take your hand that is away from the tree. You're going to use that hand first. So I think it's your right hand. Yes. Inhale takes that arm up to the sky. And then as you exhale, take that arm all the way under the left. So you're facing the tree. You're going to lay down onto your right side of your head. Come up onto the left fingers. Draw that left shoulder back. And then draw your hips back to the right, away from the tree. Relax the head down so you can get the side of your head by your eye, your temple, to lay on the ground. And then taking that top hand, slide it forward toward the top of your mat like you're going to do a downward facing dog arm. And then press into both hands, open the chest a little bit more to the left. So again, a nice little stretch for the neck, the shoulders, behind the shoulder blade, as well as that sideways by pulling those hips back to the right. Good. Take one more big inhale here. Exhale. Good. As you inhale, slide that left hand back down. Exhale there. Pressing into that left hand as you inhale, bring that right arm all the way up. And then exhale, hands around. Second side. Inhale, left arm reaches. As you exhale, slide that arm all the way under toward the wall. Then come up onto those right fingertips. Let the head be heavy. Shift the hips back to the left. And then draw up to the low belly. Let the head and neck be heavy. And then continue to either keep your right hand where it is or start to slide it forward like downward facing dog. Press down into the hands. Lift up through the hips. And then draw the hips even more toward the left. Nice full breaths. Notice what it feels like to breathe in your body in this position. One more full inhale. Exhale. Inhale, slides that right hand back down. Exhale, pause. You press into that right hand as you inhale, sweep that left arm all the way up. And exhale down. Good. Find a little cat-cow here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Good. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale. Good. Come back to neutral spine. As you inhale, you're going to turn yourself so that you're facing the tree. So I'm going to do the same thing. So you're facing the tree with your mat along this. Yep, just like Margaret. Awesome. Good. And then take the leg that's closest to me. I believe it's still your right leg. Take that right leg out to the side. Yeah. And then press into the outer edge of the foot. You're going to want to roll to your big toe edge. Roll to that pinky edge. Getting some inner thigh action here. Good. And then walk the hands forward. Make them a little bit wider. And then inhale, rock forward. And then as you exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock forward. Sometimes it helps to tuck the back toes here. Exhale, rock back. Good. One more time. Inhale, forward. And then exhale back. Pause anywhere that you feel that sensation. Maybe your hip comes back to your heel. Maybe you sit on a block. Maybe you stay hovering. So just kind of going in for that inner groin stretch on that extended leg. Good. Keep reaching that pinky edge away from you. Take one more full inhale here. Exhale. As you inhale, shift the weight forward. Then exhale, pause there. Inhale, walks those hands back before you come up any higher. Check around, see if your blocks are nearby. Grab one block or two, and then slowly come up onto your knees. And then this time you're going to take that toe, instead of pointing it toward the long edge of the mat, you're going to point it out toward me. Yeah. It may or may not reach the ground, depending on the flexibility of your ankle. But then take that block, place it just behind your calf. And then take those arms up to the side. And you need a block. Ready? Yes. Ooh. And reach overhead toward that extended leg. So think a little bit like triangle pose. Find a nice little stretch. Your hips are going to push back to the wall behind you. And then you're going to kind of reach those toes down and nice little side stretch, little hamstring and inner groin stretch. Take another inhale. Exhale. Good. As you inhale, come all the way back up. And then as you exhale, bring those hands down into the front. Start to bend toward that bent knee. You're going to shift your weight back to the top of your mat. So your right foot is still forward. You're in a nice low lunge. So that front foot might need to slide back. And then start to drop those hips nice and low. So again, if you can't quite reach the floor, you have those blocks. You can bring your hands on blocks. Your back toes can be tucked or untucked. Just kind of notice how that feels. And we'll be here just a couple more breaths, and then we'll do the other side. We'll get a little bit deeper into these stretches here. Again, just touching in. And then slowly bring those hands to the floor if they're not there already. Plant those hands Tuck the back toe, straighten the back leg, and then step it back to downward facing dog. Take a couple moments in downward dog, press down and forward into the hands, send the hips high, pedal the feet, check in with those hips and hamstrings. Whatever's gonna feel best to you right now. Nice little inhale. And exhale. Then as you inhale, bring those knees to the floor. And then as you exhale, you're gonna turn yourself so that you're facing the wall. Have that block in. Yep, and then take your left leg, point it to the top of your mat. Good. And then walk those hands forward. Put your toes toward the long end of your mat to begin. Tuck your back toes, and then inhale, lean forward. Exhale, press back. So we're gonna use that inner groin. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, back. One more time there, inhale forward. Exhale, back and hold. Yes. Good, breathing there. Keep pressing that little pinky edge down in a way that's gonna get more of that inner thigh. Nice full breaths here. One more full inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, shift your weight forward. As you exhale, walk those hands underneath the shoulders and then slowly press yourself up. Taking that block, bring it behind your leg. Turn those toes toward the top of your mat. So engage that leg, really point through the toes, and then hand to the block. Take your back arm, reach it to the sky, and then overhead to the front. Send the hips back so you can kind of lean over that front leg any little bit. Good, keep sending the toes toward me. And see if you can roll that top shoulder back any little bit. One more thing. Exhale. As you inhale, take that top arm up. Exhale, press yourself up. And then bring those hands down. Bend into that front knee, start to shift yourself toward the top of your mat. Finding that low left. Again, you can have your block there if you need to. Wiggle that front foot back. Just kind of let those hips get heavy and low. Get to the front of it. There you go. Just kind of breathe there, maybe rock a little bit. Just kind of check in. Notice how those hips are feeling. You've done a lot of sitting. The front of that right thigh is probably a little tight. Nice little inhale here. And as you exhale, release those hands to the floor. Good. Tuck your back toe on your inhale, and then exhale, step it back downward facing. A nice full inhale there. Exhale. As you inhale, take that right leg, lift it up to the sky. Exhale, heel to bump, open your hip, look under that right armpit. Find a little twist. Take another inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, look forward, straighten the back leg. And then exhale, draw knee to nose, stepping that foot forward. So that foot can go wide, it can go straight forward, but then let that back knee drop again. Tuck the back toes. As you inhale, sweep your arms up. Good, and then instead of being heavy and low in your hips, shift your hips back a little bit. So as you shift your hips back, draw that pubic bone up, tailbone down, engage your glutes. And then find length through the side waist. Good. Maybe interlink hands behind your back and lengthen up through the neck. And then draw those elbows forward, finding the stretch along the side. Head leans back, elbows lift high. And imagine dragging front heel to back heel to find a nice. Taking an inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, takes those arms out. As you exhale, left hand's gonna come down to block or floor, right arm's gonna reach up. Hips can get heavy and low here. Good, finding a little twist here. If you wanna take your right knee and kind of draw it out toward the side, kind of leaning it out, away and opening yourself up, you can do that. Top arm can reach overhead for a side stretch, or it can come behind your back for a shoulder stretch. We'll stay here about 3 more breaths in this twist. You can make it as active or as passive as you like it. Take 2 more deep breaths. Exhale. Good. As you inhale, take that top hand, bring it to your top hand. Press down into that front hand. You may even need to come up on a block if you need more space, and then bend your back knee. See if you can reach back with that back hand to your back foot and pull the foot in as you try to resist the foot movement. Tiny little quadricep stretch. If a quadricep stretch is not working for you here, you can just hold here or reach your stretch and reach your arm. Different options depending on how you're feeling with your quads. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Slowly release that leg. Bring both hands to the inside of that front leg. And then maybe start to bring those hips a little bit lower. If it feels okay for you, maybe elbows to block, maybe elbows to floor. Just really getting into that front leg. Three more breaths here. Yeah, but cement can be fun, even with the cardboard. As you inhale, slowly come up. As you exhale, shift the hips back. Wiggle that front foot forward. So you're just going to wiggle it forward a little bit. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And then start to straighten that front leg. Draw those toes back. So again, you can have the block on any height you need it. But now finding a hamstring stretch. For those people that have a little bit more range of motion and maybe splits is in your practice, you're more than welcome to go there. But you might want to wait till we do both sides. Good, 2 more breaths here. Maybe even see what it feels like to turn those toes out to the right a little bit, getting into that outer hip. And then come back to center with that foot if it's gone out. Bend into the front knee, drag that heel back a little bit. And then slowly plant the hands, step it back downward facing dog. Good. Take a full inhale there. And exhale. Press down and forward into the hands, press back through the heels and lift up through the hips. Exhale, fully there. Inhale, takes that left leg up to the side. Exhale, heel to bum, open the hip, look under that left armpit. Take another inhale. Stay to exhale. Good, as you inhale, lengthen the leg out as you look forward. Exhale, stepping that foot forward. The back knee is going to come to the ground. And then as you inhale, sweep those arms up. And again, instead of the hips being heavy and low, shift those hips back, drop into the low belly. Tailbone lengthens down, and then reach up through the side face. Okay, bring the hands behind the back or behind the head, interleave the hands. Thumbs go down your neck, lengthen up, squeeze the back of the head, lift and lengthen the neck, and then draw those elbows forward. Lean the head into the hands, lifting elbows to sky. Imagine drawing those heels toward one another. Exhale here. As you inhale, reach up through those arms. And then as you exhale, find the twist. Take that right hand down, left arm high. Find a nice little twist. Again, you can make this as heavy as you want on the hips. You can let that front knee draw out to the side. Top arm come overhead. Maybe you do a little bit of everything. Maybe it's behind the back. Just gonna check in, see what feels good to you here. Do not have to stay static. You can move around as much as you need. 3 more breaths here. Exhale. As you inhale, take that top arm up to the sky. And then as you exhale, bring that top hand to your top hip. Use the block if you need to under your hands. Bend that back knee. See how close you can get it. It's closer than you think, that foot. And then pull foot to bum, bum to foot. Find a nice little quad stretch. Nice. 2 more full breaths here. Slowly release that. Bring both hands down to the inside of the leg. And then maybe you stay on your hands, maybe you go to your elbows. Uncurl the back toe, just let those hips get nice and deep. Really getting into the top of the thigh there. Lengthen the chest forward, try not to round in the spine, let the hips grow heavy. Two more breaths here. Slowly make your way back up onto those hands. Tuck your back toe, straighten the back leg on your inhale. Exhale, send it back downward facing. Good, press down and forward into those hands. Send those hips up high, press the heels back. Whoops, I forgot a hamstring stretch. Take that left foot, step it forward. I was like, something feels weird. Left foot forward, right knee down. Wiggle that left foot forward. We forgot our hamstring stretch. And then start to shift the hips back. Coming into that hamstring stretch on the left side. So left side's forward. You'll thank me later that I remember. Good, draw that right hip slightly forward. And then see what it feels like to turn those toes a little bit out to the left. Lengthening the chest forward, try to keep that length in the spine rather than the rounding in the spine. Then imagine you're dragging that front heel back toward your back heel. Turn on those hamstrings to find that active range of motion. Another big inhale here. As you inhale, start to bend into that front knee. Exhale, slide that heel back to. Now plant the hands, step it back downward dog. For a second time. It should feel a little bit different. Good, press back into those heels. Imagine you want to drag your feet apart from one another. So turn on those outer hips. Now then imagine you want to drag your heels away from your hands. And then pull your low belly in and press into those hands. Good, 2 more breaths here, nice active legs. And that length in the backside. Exhale, hold. We're gonna come into pigeon pose. If regular pigeon pose does not work for you, you have alternatives of figure 4, you have 90-90 sit. Inhale, takes that right leg up to the sky. Exhale, heel to go over the hip. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw knee to nose, and then knee to the back of the right hand. And then pause there, tuck your back toe, press and lift the chest, just find a little lift for a moment. And then your back toe is tucked. You're gonna lift your hips and then slide your hips back. And then start to lengthen. So you're gonna find a nice deeper stretch in that right hip. Uncurl your back toes if it feels okay. You can stay on your elbows or you can start to lengthen out further. But if you want to find a little bit more of an active range of motion, press into the legs to find a little deeper end range strength and stretch. Or you can relax all those muscles and let gravity take over. We're going to stay here 3 more breaths. We're going to do a couple little twists here. Exhale fully. As you inhale, wake your way back up to your elbows if you're not there already. And then take that left hand, this way. Take that left hand, slide that elbow in so your left hand can grab around your right knee. And then take your right hand to your low back and roll the chest, find a little twist. Good, let that left hip drop toward the floor a little bit more, roll that right shoulder back. So either stay here with the twist like this, or bending that back knee, finding that foot again, finding that quadricep stretch. Resist hand and foot, foot and hand to find a deeper twist. Good. Wherever you are, press into that bottom elbow to lift the chest, find length, and then roll the top shoulder back any little bit. Use the grip on that hand on your knee to help rotate you. If you have the grip of the foot, take another inhale. As you exhale, release that foot. As you inhale, everybody come back to center. Good, come to your elbows, pause, press into those elbows. Imagine doing Sphinx pose. Elbows draw down, top of the head lifts, back foot reaches back. And then we're gonna find an opposite twist here. So come up onto those fingertips, lift the elbows slightly. Slide that right elbow over like you're gonna do that nice little like thread the needle twist. Good, so you're laying down, and then take your bottom elbow, bend it. Press your top hand into your bottom hand and roll the shoulders back. Yes. And then see if you can draw those thumbs closer to your chest. And instead of letting that left hip roll up, see if you can roll it down. Good, take another inhale. Exhale. Good, as you inhale, release the hands to the floor. Press into that left hand as you inhale, slide both elbows forward. Good, pause there for a moment. Good, then come up onto those hands, tuck your back toe, slide that back knee in, and then lift those hips downward facing up. Take a couple moments there, pedal the feet, shift the hips, do what feels good. And then inhale takes that left leg to the side. Exhale, heel to bum, open it up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw knee toward nose, and then knee toward the back of that left hand. Good. And then tuck the back toe, lift that back leg, and slide the hips back. So slide the hips back first, then uncurl the back toe, then walk it forward. Good. Then again, make it as active or as passive as you like it. Nice full breath, feeling that stretch into that left hip. It could be on the outer hip, it could be more compression on the inner hip. You might even be feeling some nice stretch on that right thigh. Just nice full breaths here. And 3 more full breaths. Exhale fully here. As you inhale, come back to your elbows if you're not there already. Slide that right elbow to the center line so the right hand can grab the left knee. And then bring that left hand behind you to the low back. press into that right elbow to rotate the chest. Let that right hip roll forward. And then you can stay here, you can look up, you can look down, use some leverage to find more twist. Maybe bend the back. Find that foot, find a little leverage, maybe even press the foot into the hand to find a deeper twist. Good. If you have the foot and hand and foot, press the foot into the hand, see if you can lean your chest away from your thigh. Maybe even look up. 2 more breaths. Slowly, if you have the foot, take an inhale. Exhale, release the foot. Bring both elbows back to center. Find that little Sphinx pose in the upper body. Press into the elbows, lift the heart. Good, and then press into the hands, lift the elbows, slide that left arm all the way over to the right. Good, and then bend the left elbow, take that right hand, press it on top of the left hand. Press the elbows down, lift the chest to the hands, and then draw hands to your heart as that right hip rotates to the floor. Good, nice little twist. You can look up or down, whatever's gonna feel best in your body. Don't forget to breathe. One more full inhale here. Exhale. As you inhale, release those hands to the floor. Exhale, right hand presses into the floor. Inhale, press yourself up. Find that little Sphinx pose for a moment. And then slide those hands back under the shoulders, tuck your back toe, lift your hips, slide your knee in, and then press it back down. And take a couple breaths there, pedal the feet, shift the hips. Another full inhale there. Exhale. As you inhale, slowly bring the knees down. Shift those hips to one side and then drop your hips down. And go ahead and bring your feet out forward. Good. Taking your right leg extended out on the same. Your right leg's out, left leg's in. Sitting up nice and tall. And here you have options. You can find a little bit of a twist, but if your low back's giving you a little heartache, don't think of going over your leg. Think of going between the gap between your legs. You're still going to get a hamstring stretch. It's just going to be a little bit different. So you don't want to kind of force and make yourself, because that's what I'm going to do because my low back is low. So you can either go over that leg, if that feels good. You're going to find a nice little stretch in the back. But if your low back's bothering you, go where your hip points are pointing and lengthen forward. You have options. All right. So lengthen forward, put a little bend in the knee to begin. And then press the heel down, drag the heel back. And then lengthen the chest forward. Find a little bit of that cow pose. Good, so send your sit bones back. And then if it feels okay, start to straighten that leg a little bit more. Go just a little deeper hamstring stretch. Can you draw those shoulders, instead of them having up by your ear, can you find length in your neck? Think of you as a nice little turtle coming out of its shell. And sometimes it feels good, like to even have your hands back behind you to help push you forward. So you can experiment with that. We're going to be here probably about 4 more breaths. Feeling that right hamstring. Exhale fully here. As you inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale back to center. This time, take that right leg extended out to the side. Good. So instead of holding forward here, we're going to go to the side. So you're going to take that right hand out to the side, rotate toward your bent knee, and then start to lengthen over that straight leg. Your opposite hip's going to come up, totally fine. And then maybe take that top arm up to the sky. Yeah. If it feels okay in your body, Arm comes overhead, reaching toward those extended toes, if that's accessible to you. If you have a little bit more range of motion in your hips and your sideways, maybe that right hand reaches for your left knee and your right fingers reach for your, sorry, your left fingers reach for your right toes. Two more breaths here, really getting into that side stretch. These muscles don't get a lot of stretch in our daily life. They get a lot of strengthening, a lot of just sitting and stagnation. Exhale fully here. As you inhale, take that top arm up to the sky. As you exhale, press into that bottom hand to bring yourself all the way up. Good, pause there for a moment. And then slowly draw that right knee in. Take the left leg out. So straight in front of you to begin. Sit up nice and tall. Bend into that front knee a little bit, and then your choice, either over the leg or between the legs. Good. Find that little bend in the knee first, and then press into the heel. Imagine dragging the heel back as your heart comes forward. So imagine you're finding little cow pose. So heart forward, sit bones back, and then start to straighten that leg. Find a little different stretch in that hamstring. And then see if you can find length in the side of your neck. So your shoulders and ears drop farther apart. Take about 4 more breaths here. See if you can find that breath going into your back body as much as into that hamstring. Feeling that back body expand away from you and then drawing to the center line as you hold a little deeper. Exhale, fully here. As you inhale, lift and lengthen. As you exhale, walk those hands back. Taking that left leg out to the side. Good, sitting up nice and tall. Take the left hand down that left leg, rotate yourself a little bit toward that bent knee, and then take that top arm up to the sky. Kind of see how that feels. And then maybe start to lean over. Good, maybe hand reaches down. Sometimes my head feels heavy, so I use that bottom hand as like a little kickstand. And then if you have that little bit extra range of motion or mobility in your hips, that left hand can reach to the right knee, and then the right arm's reaching over to the left toes. Try to draw that top shoulder up any little bit, find the weight into the back sit bone, keeping with that side stretch. 2 more full breaths here. Exhale fully here. As you inhale, take that top arm to the sky. As you exhale, use that bottom hand to press you up. Yourself for a little. And then bending that opposite way. You bring the soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. And then I usually like to shift my hips forward and back by lifting them rather than dragging my feet in. It just feels better to me, but play with what you like. Find a good place, press into your hands, lift your chest, and then press the knees down. Good, so find a little energy here first. And then start to lean forward onto those fingertips. Keep pressing the feet together, pressing the knees down. And then if it feels okay, bring your elbows toward those inner thighs, pressing them down as you lengthen forward. Three more full breaths here. Exhale, fold. As you inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, draw those knees in. Draw those knees up. Give yourself just a little rounding in the spine. Pause there. And then bring those hands down. Extend the legs out straight. Give them a little shake for a moment. So we're going to do one more little seated pose. Then we're going to make our way to the floor. Take those legs out wide. Good. Sitting up. Maybe even bend into those knees a little bit so that the pelvis can tilt forward. So those sit bones or those butt hip bones tend to roll back when we're tight. You want to try to roll them forward. So that might mean closing the legs a little bit to bend the knees, to lift the chest. Good. And then press the hands behind you and then start to straighten the legs. See how that feels. If you ever feel your low back start to go whoop, bend the knees a little bit. It'll take time, but it will come faster than forcing it. And then just those hands keep coming forward. Again, those people that do have a little bit more range of motion, grabbing ankles, grabbing toes, lengthening chest forward. And you can even do that with your knees bent. Like I like to keep my knees bent. I'm feeling a nice stretch in my inner thigh and feeling it in my hip crease. I'm not really feeling my hamstring if my knees were straight, but I'm still feeling a nice stretch. And then over time, you just start to lengthen those legs out as your body is ready. 3 more breaths here. In those 3 breaths, can you find a little bit of that cow pose in your upper back? Exhale. As you inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, bring those hands back behind you as you start to bend the knees, sliding those feet in. And again, bring those arms around the knees and just pause there. And then go ahead, you're gonna roll yourself down onto your back. Have your strap handy in case you need that. Roll all the way down. Pausing there for a moment. Just notice what it feels like to be on your back. And then from here, as you inhale, you're going to take that right leg up to the sky. So if you have a strap and you'd like to use the strap's going to go around the ball of your foot, pressing the ball of the foot into that strap. If you don't want to use a strap, you can use your hand around the back of your thigh. If you have a little bit more range of motion, your peace fingers are going to grab your big toe. So you have different options depending on where your range of motion is, what equipment you have. And then that left leg can go straight or it can stay bent. Take a couple deep breaths here. Resist leg and hand to find a little bit of that hamstring stretch. Allow gravity to kind of take over as you kind of bend those elbows. And then holding onto the leg with just your right hand, or the strap with just your right hand. Bend that right knee out toward your armpits. So bend it nice and wide out toward your armpit. Good. Foot still flexed up to the ceiling, to the sky. And then keeping that external rotation of the leg, start to straighten the leg out to the right. So nice little inner thigh stretch. I like to take my left hand and press it down onto that left hip to keep it anchored. And then imagine drawing your heels away from one another. Drag those heels energetically away from one another. Two more breaths here. As you inhale, draw that right foot back up to the sky, bend that right knee into the shoulder, into the armpit. Exhale there. then as you inhale, straighten that leg back up to the sky. Pause there. Maybe both hands come back to the strap or to the leg. Find your breath fluid and smooth. Really noticing the sensations in the body as you breathe. And then taking the strap or the leg into your left hand. If you're using just your hand, kind of hold near your knee. And then draw that leg across your body just a couple inches, just so that you feel that outer hip. So it's not a twist yet. If you need more sensation, toes come closer to your head. If you need less sensation, draw your heel toward the end of your mat. So just finding that outer hip stretch. So not just twist yet. We'll get to a twist in a moment. And then you have the option, more sensation on the outer hip with your twist, you're gonna keep the leg straight. If you do not want that much sensation in your outer hip, you can bend your top leg. You're gonna keep continuing to drop that right leg over to the left. Take that right arm out wide. Finding a nice twist here. Once you have your twist, take that top hip, roll it away from your top shoulder. Like the tailbone to your extended heel. And find your breath taking you deeper into the twist. Notice how your body moves as you breathe here. As you inhale, bend that top leg. Exhale, draw the knee into your chest as you bring your back to the floor. Good. Hug that knee in. Take that leg back up to the sky for a moment. Imagine that leg just kind of dropping back into your hip socket. Resetting itself, letting your back of your pelvis, your sacrum just drop down into the floor. And then bending that right knee, placing that right foot on the ground. Bend the left knee a bit straight, pause there. Just kind of notice the sensations on that right side. Deepen and slow your breath. And then start to take that left leg up to the side. So again, you can use the strap, you can hold hand behind the thigh, you can hold the big toe. We're going for a hamstring stretch here. Maybe that right leg goes wrong. And breathe. Good. Push up through the heel or push up through the ball of the foot if you're pressing into the strap. If your right leg is long, imagine you're standing on it, make it active so you can find a little bit more length in that left hamstring. And then taking the strap of the leg just in your left hand, as you inhale, bend that left knee toward your armpit, toward the outer edge of your body. Take that right hand, press it down into that right hip. And then keeping that external rotation of the leg, start to straighten that leg out toward the left. Good. Push through the heels and then imagine dragging the heels away from one another as you keep that right hip down on the ground. Feeling this nice openness in the inner thighs, all the way down to the heels. Maybe a little compression on the outer side of that left hip. Exhale, pull here. As you inhale, bend that knee again, draw the foot back up to the sky. Exhale, hold. And then as you inhale, start to straighten that leg back up to the side. But find that hamstring stretch again. And then taking the foot or the strap into that right hand. And then just bring that leg across your body just a couple inches. Just so you're feeling that outer hip turn. Roll that left hip down to the floor. Nice full deep breaths. And then deciding what's going to be best for your hips, either knee bent or leg straight. As you exhale, continue to take that left leg across the body. Stacking the hips. And then once you found your twist, take that top hip, roll it away from your top shoulder. And lengthen that side face. Tailbone lengthens to extend the heel. And then really open up through that left shoulder. And then nice big breaths. Notice how your body breathes as you move. Exhale fully there. As you inhale, bend into that top leg. As you exhale, draw the knee to your chest as your back comes to the floor. Pause there, just hugging that knee in. Taking that leg back up to the sky, hands behind the back of the thigh. Just imagine that long femur bone dropping back down into the hip socket, letting that pelvis drop down into the floor. Setting those legs. And slowly bending into that left knee, place that left foot on the ground. Bend the right knee, place the right foot on the ground. Pause there for a minute. Just notice the sensations in the body here. And then just kind of scan out the body. Notice what your body needs here. Does it need another twist? Maybe a happy baby? Maybe you're totally happy and you just need Shavasana. Take whatever pose you need. I'm going to take a happy baby. Both knees go wide, grabbing my feet, and then rocking a little bit from side to side. It's literally my favorite pose. I was telling the class this morning, I have a second close favorite, but this one just feels so good. And if it doesn't feel good to you, I totally get it. And then take those arms and legs, reach them up to the sky, give them a little shake, release any muscle energy. And then bend the knees. Extend the legs out on your mat. And then press into the hands, press into the feet, engage your glutes and kind of lift your pelvis just a little bit. Find that length in the front of the thighs. Point through the toes, point through the fingers. And then as you exhale, relax that muscle energy. Maybe wiggle the legs a little bit. Tuck those shoulder blades onto your back for a moment. Hands can be by your side, palms turned up, palms turned down, maybe hands resting on your belly. Wherever you are in your breathing cycle, exhale fully. Take a full inhale. And sigh it out. Take another full inhale. And sigh it out. One more full inhale. And let it go. If your eyes have not closed, allow them to close, unless you prefer looking up into the trees. Allowing yourself to settle into some stillness, into some silence, observing your surroundings, being aware of your body and your breath. Allowing yourself to be here mentally and physically with your body and mind for a few more minutes as your body and mind surrender to relaxation. I'll bring you out of Shavasana with 3 bells. Take rest. next breath to come a little deeper. Next breath, start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Take that movement into the wrists and ankles. Maybe even start to rock the head from side to side. And on your next breath, reach your arms back behind your head, slide your feet together, give yourself a long stretch. And then slowly bend the knees, either hug the knees into your chest or windshield wiper those legs, whatever is going to feel best in your body. Find some movements. And when you're ready, use your right arm as a pillow, roll over to your right side and pause. Allow that right arm to be your pillow. Scan in mentally, physically, acknowledging the shifts from the practice today. And then very slowly continue to roll into that top hand, extend your top leg, press yourself up sideways, bringing your head up last. And then allow yourself to come up to seated. Find a comfortable seat. Allow your eyes to close if they've opened. And then allow your hands to either rest at your heart center or at your belly, or both palms pressing in front of your heart. Allow yourself to come into this space, onto your mat and into your body. Allowing the strength, the energy, and the breath of this practice to help you as you transition off your mat into your evening ahead. Knowing that that breath is always there to help you when times get trying off your mat. You just have to remember to use it. Seal this practice in with an om or a sigh of the breath, your choice. Exhale fully here. Inhale. Bowing your head slightly. Take a moment. Think of one thing in your life you truly are grateful for. And then hold on to that image in your mind's eye as you raise your head to the sky. For being here. Namaste. Thank you. Lots of water. Each ready for some sunblock. Thank you for joining.